Hi, my name is Joel Masharia. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Motisure, and I'm part of the team that helped organize the NSW. So at Motisure, for today's purpose, we want to talk about safety during commute. And what we mean by that is we want every Kenyan to think about how they are going to go back home once they leave their house. What do we mean by that? Most of the times, what you find is every time we leave our house, you want to go to your work, you want to go to your normal hustle, and you don't think about how you're going to get there, right? So most of us use our cars, we use a boda, we use a matatu or an Uber for that matter. But the one thing that most people don't think about is how am I going to get to where I'm going to and come back safely, right? And the ones that do, more often than not, don't have a solution for in case something happened or in the event something happened, what would they do, right? So at Motisure, we are focused on commuters, passengers, bodas, as well as drivers, and everyone in between. And what we've done is we've created two products. One is what we call a driver cover or a boda cover as well, and also a commuter cover. So what we're doing is essentially allowing people to access very affordable insurance at only 10 shillings a day or 10 shillings per trip, and they get a cover in the event of an accident. So why are we doing this? Existing insurance options are very expensive for the likes of Terry. And what she's done is that she's ended up not getting any form of safety net because the ones that exist are too, they're wide, they're basically out of our range. And what we did as Motisure is like talk to a lot of Terrys and ask them what are they interested in the event of what do they want to see in terms of their product configuration. And what Terry told us was they don't have a medical cover because a medical cover is too expensive. They don't have a home cover because it's too expensive. And all these other products that already exist in the market are a bit out of range for most of our customers. So what we did is we sat down with a lot of Terrys and a lot of bodas as well as commuters and asked them what would they want to see, right, in an insurance product that then would essentially be their safety net in the event of an accident. And what they told us was they care a lot about, what happens to their family in case they get badly injured, and what happens to themselves when they get hospitalized and they need to pay some medical bills, right? And you find that for most of these people who go out there to fend for their families are the sole breadwinners, right? So what that means is, in case something happens to that guy, the kids, the kids, the brother, the sister, the mother, the father, people who depend on that person have no other way of, continuing to sustain themselves, right? So at Motisure, we've basically focused around the person, right, or individuals, and we've come up with what you're calling personal accident covers that then, that take care of the person as an entity, and by extension, the family through the beneficiaries, right? And that's what we're passionate about in terms of getting a lot of these people. And over 80% of our typical customers have never had any experience with insurance, right? So that speaks volumes in terms of the need for insurance, but then low access. And the reason for the low access is the cost of the insurance, right? So we brought it down all the way to 10 shillings a day, and we created like a benefit that is quite huge enough to take care of you or your family in the case of your death or disability, or you losing income because of being hospitalized when you got into an accident, right? So, and I want to switch it up a bit to talk to my typical customers, so I'll speak in a bit of Swahili or Sheng. And nataka kuambia bonge yangu ya bodaboda wakuje wapate kitu yenye inawakinga wao wenyewe. Kila siku wanaendesha pikipiki yao ama bodaboda yao, kila siku wanatoka nyumbani, ana make sure ameenda pale motisure.com, anaangalia venye anaweza pata ka insurance ka hiyo siku, and then itamaanisha yeye na familia wake wako na kitu ya kuwakinga in case kitu ya happen kwa huyu jamaa. Sawa sawa? Na I'll take questions out of that and see if, we can respond to some of them. Terry.
So I have a question about your cover. is there an instance that it's actually been effective? Do you have an example of you have helped someone who's under your cover and they did get a disability? How did your cover come into effect for them? And how did it help them and their families?
So that's a good question. So yes, we've had over 46 claims of people we've actually paid medical expenses. Some of them we've given them a loss of income protection, some amount to take care of them. And what you find is insurance is more of like you want to have that card in your pocket in the event something happens to you, right? So we call it giving peace of mind to people, right? So for the guys who got into accidents that were covered by the product, we've actually paid out quite an amount in terms of claims that went to either medical expenses or loss of income and to even hospital cash. So when the guy is in the hospital, he needs to get something to buy the fruits or something of the sort. So we do have very many people who've benefited. And then what's interesting is over 50% of all my customers have had a previous accident before, right? So when we talk to them about the insurance product, what will convert? Do they know the need, right? So I'll give you an instance. Somewhere in Kitale, Kwanza, what they do is when a boda boda guy dies, they actually get a rope and they stop pedestrians, car owners, boda bodas, by pulling it across the road for you to stop and help changa or contribute or do a harambe for them, right? So when I went to talk to them, though they couldn't believe that someone has actually thought about them to a level that it's something that's so affordable for them, they don't need to do this anymore, right? So our product speaks to the real need, especially in the event of an accident, and we've had so many people in different regions throughout the country who've benefited from a claim from Motisure, or just even that mindset of, hey, I have a cover now in case of an accident. And we also encourage them to be safe drivers, safe riders, and we do a lot of these customer engagements with them and tell them, please wear a helmet, make sure your reflectors are on, do the indicators, all those safety gears. We try and encourage them to continue doing that so that then they don't have so many accidents. Yeah, and that's what we're about. And we welcome everyone to go to our website, motisure.com, or reach out to us through our social media handles. And we're excited to be part of Nairobi Startup Week.